and adults. Today we're going to talk about how to drive a car as a total beginner. It's really important that you feel comfortable with learning how to drive. It does take time. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen over 30 days. You have to continually practice. Me, as a certified instructor, over 23 years of experience, I talk to the students first to find out what their goals are. Your goals are to simply get your license so you can go to work? Are your goals are to simply get your license because you're over 18? Are your goals to get your license because you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s? Everyone has a little bit of a different backstory, and it helps me understand you. So you want to have an instructor who's patient. And I know students and adults can be very nervous, have a lot of anxiety. So I want to help you with that anxiety. So you got to be patient. Be patient with the process of scheduling your drives, right? It's important that you understand that, yeah, the car is running good. Yes, I'm trying. I'm going to keep posting, baby. You know I am. It's important that you feel really comfortable when you get going and you feel safe, because without safety, you're going to have a lot of fear and anxiety, okay? Typically, I take students in the neighborhoods those first couple of drives. We're going around the block. We're making 12 right turns, 12 left turns. Next, I want to talk about the steering wheel some. It's very important. There's more than one way to turn the steering wheel. I want you to understand this. There is hand to hand. I'm here in the United States. No shade on our brothers and sisters in the UK. No shade on our brothers and sisters in Australia. They tend to drive hand to hand and they drive manuals. I do know how to drive a manual, but for this instructional piece, we're talking about automatics, we're talking about the United States, but these elements can be applied anywhere in the world because driving is universal once you understand it. So patience is a virtue. You have to be patient with your instructor. He or she should show you what to do. They have to get you set up in the car. I'm 6'4", I'm about 260, so I have my seat back. If you're smaller and shorter than 6'4" and 260, you're gonna have to move closer to the steering wheel, okay? You wanna have your hands, there's multiple ways. There's 10 and 2, there's 9 and 3. AAA, they're a huge automotive insurance provider, safety provider. They said recently 7 and 5 is a pretty good way to drive. So it varies on how long your arms are. Have very long arms, you can tell. If you have very short arms, it depends on your shoulders, how big or small your chest is, how big or small you are, period. So you gotta be adjusted right. You wanna be 6 to 10 inches away from the steering wheel. We know there's an airbag in the middle, right? There's an airbag in there. And we're not trying to have the airbag blow up our thumbs, break our arms, okay? But if you're too far away, you're going to be overextending and overturn. Okay? So we're in the neighborhood. We're making 12 right turns, 12 left turns. I'm looking for steering control, right? I'm looking for good hand position. When you have good hand position, you're going to be really successful. And that's important. Okay? So you have to have good hand position in order to reach your goal. Okay? So when you have that good hand position, then you're really going to excel and be successful in learning how to drive. And we want two hands on the wheel. You can drive with one hand. In fact, I did have a student who was born with one arm. And listen, he drove better than students with two arms. Now, this is back in the day. No, digital hand. He had a plastic prosthetic arm. So I said to myself, man, how am I going to drive this young man? So I listened to him. I had him get in the car. I opened the door up, and I said, get in the car, adjust your seat where you're comfortable. Get in the car, adjust the steering wheel where you're comfortable. So he did that. So what he had to do was kind of, turn the wheel gradually with, I think it was his right hand, okay? And his right hand his right hand was able to adjust to hold the steering wheel. So he used his left hand to turn. So once I observed him turning the wheel and saw how he turned, then I was able better to help him steer. And it took some time. So I was very cautious. I had him go in the neighborhoods. Okay, show me how you turn. I didn't tell him what to do. You show me, because I had never taught a student with one arm. So that educated me where you have to take your time with your student. You can't rush them. Next, you want someone who's going to be nice. Being nice is the by far the most important thing that I find in working with the public, because you will make mistakes, right? You're welcome. You will make mistakes. A mistake could be hitting the, oh, you don't drive with 2 feet. I want to make sure that you drive with your right foot only. We have automatics. Drivers of cars are primarily automatics. You put your left foot to the dab pedal. I make some videos on this. I have some. You guys got to look them up. You use your right foot only. You don't brake with your left and gas with your right. I've had some students do that. And what happens, they mix up the gas pedal. That is so scary because the car stops and then you hear the car surges. So that's really scary. So I tell my students to put your left foot to the dab pedal or the rest pedal. That's what it's called. That will be on your test. So we pivot our foot between the brake and gas. I have a long foot like 14. Some students have 9. Some students have 5. Some students have 16. So everyone's foot is a little bit different. Here's another tip. You need to wear thin sole shoes. Converse are good shoes. I'm not sponsored by them. Converse, if you hear me, Converse are very good shoes. They allow you to feel the pedal. Don't wear hard, thick shoes on your first 5 or 6 times driving. You won't be able to feel the brake. You're going to slam the gas, and you're going to feel like you're having a panic attack. Trust me, I've been through this before, and I'm sharing this with you so you're like, oh, wear thin sole shoes. Next, you want your instructor, your mom and dad, whoever's training you, tell you directions in advance. Hey, at the second light, I need you to make a right. Don't just say, stop, turn right, because you won't understand what to do. If your mom and dad are in the car, whoever's next to you in the passenger seat, they are the co-pilot. Because your mom is going to say one thing, honey, go straight. Your dad's going to say one thing, go to McDonald's, I want a coffee. And you're going to stop in the middle of the street. So if your mom and dad are there with you, mom and dad, whoever's in the front, is the co-pilot. And if you got your little brother or sister, maybe have them wait, because they're going to be all in your business, teasing you. You're going to crash. You don't know what you're doing. And it's already stressful enough, follow me, when you have your mom and dad in there, because you're going to feel some type of way. Okay, dads are usually more chilled. This is a whole series. Mom's a little bit more picky, attention to detail, but you still need their coaching. You still need their love and support. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. These are real things you're going to go through when you drive with your caregiver, because I'm an instructor. I have a brake in the car. I know how to coach you. I can tell if you're losing focus or getting anxiety, so I know what to do. But your mom or dad does not. I've had training on this. So you need to really listen, and you need to subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. This is real. Let's continue. You don't want to make last minute decisions on a beginning driver because they can't comprehend. They won't be able to slow down and squeeze the brake, right? They're going to slam the brake, and if a truck or a bus or a semi-truck is behind you, it's over, baby. Because when you're on the road, people assume, okay, you can drive. The speed limit is 55, you're going to be at 55. The speed limit's 70, you're going to be at 70. Beginning drivers drive 10 to 12 under. You're going to drive under speed, and that's fine. But you better be in the middle lane or the right lane. If you're in the left lane, you're going to get road raged on, you're going to get tailgated on, you're going to get cut off. You need to be looking at this. I have some dash cam video of that. You can see the rear, you can see the front, so that gives you perspective, and that will lock in your perspective. Next, you want to have visual demonstrations. How do you hold the steering wheel? I'll set up some camera angles on that. What is better if you're taller? What is better if you're shorter? You have to have both hands on the wheel. If you put your hands to the top of the wheel, you're going to make it small. Don't make it small. You're going to overturn over the curb. If you make it too wide, you won't be able to steer. A lot of beginning drivers squeeze the brake really hard. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be nervous around your mom. A mom weird way. Like she's making you cookies, but they don't taste good. True. Or your dad. You want to ask your dad for money, but your dad's going to say, you owe me for the rest of your life. Right? So you're going to have that weird feeling in the car with your parent. Usually your older sister, brother, cousin, that's the good experience. Your bestie, that's the good experience, because You guys are learning together. It's better to take driver's ed with your friend so you can go through the process together. Please say you have friends. Yes, you have friends. And that's really important. But typically in the summer, 36 kids per class, 20 kids per class. I've worked probably 110 hours, and I'm giving you a real perspective of what's going on. I'm off today, I'm recharging, recuperating. So these things are important. And when you drive, you have to set time. You can't say, well, I want to be done in 17 days. It doesn't work like that. You have to schedule your drives. You can only drive 1 hour a day. You want to fill out your student form. Your instructor should be telling you what you did, right? Hey, you had great speed control, but you slammed the brake. Hey, you looked over your left shoulder, but you forgot to look over your right. When you're backing up, you need to look out of your back window. You looked in the mirror. Good instructors will give you that feedback to make you better. I want to get better. By you taking the time to look at this content, and I need you to subscribe. Subscribe because I'm a state certified instructor. I'm not some random telling you random stuff, right? I'm going to give you the perspective to get into the car. I'll have more videos about steering. I'll show you what to do. I'll show you how to have your foot positioned. I'll show you how to shift. I will do these things and you'll say, wow, I'm really learning how to drive. And then when you go to drive, it's going to reduce some of the anxiety. Now, if you got a crabby old person, no hate, you got a crabby old person, you're going to be really tight. If you got a really young instructor, they really don't know what they're doing. You want someone who's in the middle, 12 years, 7 years, 19 years, 23 like me. I'm not too old, but I'm not too young, right? I'm hungry. I want to grow. That's why I'm pushing you to subscribe, pushing you to follow, pushing you to do all these things so you can learn. And the algorithm will push it out to whoever needs it, right? You want to be considerate. I am considerate. Students work. Students have other responsibilities. So, we do what we do to accommodate you. And I have a schedule too. I drive 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours, but I can't do it back to back to back because you get tired. So you have to rest. You have to recharge. You want someone who's going to give you positive reinforcement. I always do that. Even if I feel like you're going to crash, I will talk to you. Hey, are you doing okay? I notice you're really struggling to keep the car in the lane today. Good instructors will be honest with you. And that's what you want. You want someone who's going to be honest with you, who's going to give you the honest feedback and say, hey, you're kind of off. Oh, yeah, I stayed up all night. I was playing Fortnite. I was playing Halo Infinite. I was playing Rainbow Six Siege. Right? But then you come to drive at 9 in the morning and you're all over the road. So sometimes if I see those things, I'll cancel the drive because it's not safe for you. It's not safe for me. We want to be in a really positive mental state so you can take good instruction. I can let you learn and see you improve. How do I know you're ready for the main road? We're driving through neighborhoods. You're making nice right turns, hand over hand, left turns, hand over hand. You are on the right side of the road because we're here in North America. Now, when it's time for us to get on a major thoroughfare, I want to see you come up to the edge of the street so you can look left, right, left. Then when there's a gap is a space. I want to see you pull out in the nearest lane and get up to speed. Once you do that, that can tell me you're starting to get ready for the main road. Everyone's a little bit different. People have different levels of anxiety. You need to really trust what your instructor says and ask questions. Hey, how long have you been doing driver's ed? Where did you take your practicum classes at? That's important because you want to get a sense of who I am and what I'm about. Good instructors remind you to do things constantly. I'm always trying to have you get better. Good steering, good speed control, good lane positioning. Squeeze your brake. Be a defensive driver when we're in neighborhoods. Little kids are out. Ice cream truck is out. If the ice cream truck is out, slow down. Why? Little kids are thinking about a bomb pop. They're thinking about ice creams, flashcards. I will have them up tomorrow. How are you doing, Jackson? I will have those for you tomorrow. I'll put them on the community page. It'll be active for 24 hours. And then what I will do, I'll go live, I'll share screens, and we'll go over some of those questions. I'm a school teacher also, and I think teachers, coaches, police officers, school bus drivers make good driver's ed instructors because we want to teach. We understand how you do. I'm here for you. One of my super fans. Awesome. I appreciate you every day. So use we want to use hands to show students, I need you to make a left, I need you to make a right, because you're overwhelmed trying to control the car. And if your mom or dad saying, just turn, you're going to shut down. Do you turn slow? Do you turn fast? Do you turn short? Do you turn wide? So your mom and dad have to use very specific vocabulary. I always say squeeze the brake. I never say hit the brake, because if you hit the brake, we're going to lock up the brakes and we'll get rear-ended. A lot of drivers, their cars have been rear-ended because beginning drivers hit the brake. I always tell my students, squeeze the brake. Every car drives differently. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I love you and I appreciate you. Bye.